Lemon, lime, soda skies, lucky like a four-leaf clover. Strawberry, slice of life, singing with a sip of nectar. Sweet like honey on a summer day, I'll stick with you through the wind and the rain. Sweet like honey on a summer night, like a busy bee, take a flight. 2, 1, go! Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Flying high, take the dive, blue waves across the ocean. Honey straight from the hive, live it up and go with the motion. Sweet like honey on a summer day, I'll stick with you through the wind and the rain. Sweet like honey on a summer night, like a busy bee, take a flight. 2, 1, go! Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Springtime with you, summer with me. Flowers in fields and little yellow bees. Watch as the time passes in a haze. Sweet honey nights and golden honey days. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day. Sweet like honey, sweet like honey, honey. Sweet like honey, sweet like a summer day.
Hey cuties, I am here. Check my music volume real quick. It's about right, it's good. Oh, they leave when students leave? Okay. If you're not able to, you're not able to, right? But that does definitely mean make sure that you, if you are at all able to come in early tomorrow. Yo, hey Hell, how you doing? Also to everybody else, Cole, Minx, greetings. Lurkers. Oh, I just heard something thud. I'm gonna... No, I think it's neighbor. I was gonna check that it wasn't my heater tumbling down the stairs, though I think I would hear that more than just one thud. Let's see. Host in the DC. Oh, your village stuff? Yeah, I did see it. Saw it yesterday. I got confused for a second because I'm like, huh? Yeah. I saw the village thing. As I've mentioned, make sure that if you do a villager trading hall, to have it further out, like at least as far out as Ross's first base. I don't know, roughly 1,000 blocks out. Just to prevent lag, but it looks cool. Oh, I could stretch my back better. It's feeling a little bit stiff. I did a 3-hour bike ride yesterday, and I've been doing these frequently for years. And for some reason yesterday, it wasn't even that like I was that tired from doing it. Just my butt hurt and I'm stiff after. Emerald shaped window was fun to make. Ooh. Fun is always fun. I still need to back up the server. Rutro. Gonna take a quick coffee sip. Don't really have plans for today. There are those kinds of days. It's getting old. Also, my shoulders are really sore, which, like, I guess that bicycling uses a whole bunch of muscles, but I'm surprised that my shoulders are where I'm feeling it. Like, I'm also feeling it various other places, but a lot in my shoulders. They just must be tired from carrying around my massive traps. Yeah, right. I know I just said that I don't have anything actively planned today, but then I immediately am like, but game. No. What we can do today is pull up some YouTube, maybe. Do a little bit of React content again. Maybe a bit of karaoke, though I'm worried that I'm going to blow out my voice because I've already been singing a lot today. Practice and stuff. And then I have the usual full schedule of more things that need my voice. I should check that there's not a game that I wanted to play badly with. Wanted to tell me something, typing it out. All right, sounds cool. Okay, yeah, I don't think I had a game specifically that I wanted to play. I did. I know that this is something that Pingu and Jam were into, and a couple of people. I don't know about people in right now, but I made a different Magic deck based on the same themes and played it a bunch more, and it feels better than the last one. That's the thing. Could always share. But no, I think that my main thing that I want to do right now is pop. God damn it. Too many tabs open. They don't all show up properly. I think that we really might do some karaoke, at least a couple of songs. The weirdest one is that I want to do Patches of Violet, but the problem with that is that my vocal range, I could sing. Yes, first of all, it's a duet, right? It's a duet all done by one person, but it is a duet. And I don't have her vocal range. So I do it with my own vocals, but that means that either I do it solo and I miss half of the duet, or I sing with her and it sounds fine, but off because I am tuning to where I'm going to need to do to duet for myself. I could do the male part in my higher vocal range and be fine, I guess. Was looking for animation that started your gotcha animation phase. Looked in school account, watch history, and found it? Yo, nice. We love to hear that. I'm gonna start. Pulling some YouTube links. Something Max Wayne. The fact that took 40 minutes. I mean, that's how it goes. I'm about to be annoyed. Just saw a YouTube thing. Let's see. Emily's tech support. That sounds awful. You know what, you guys? I don't need to worry about showing anything dangerous. Let's see. Why do gooey ducks look like that? YouTube says I can't show you a picture of them. Interesting. I know I saw an original thumbnail where they did show them. Evil's birthday yesterday. Yes. I heard a bit. I made fake Zelda songs to trick my friends. We're not going to watch the full 20 minutes, but I want to see some of that. I saw a bit of the new model. I'm not super sold. Same thing with the, I don't know. I liked the move from the V1 models to V2. The V3 models, particularly for Evil. For Neuro, it kind of fits. For Evil, it feels a bit like she's trying harder than she would. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. The expressions also just feel a little bit off. Like, it all just feels a teeny bit off, but I'm sure that a lot of that is that people don't like change, right? That looks really cute. pick-proof smart lock. Making my own favorite liquid carcinogen. Okay, my Nile Red. The filters and AI. Just check what this is. Curious what this is. Get ready for just a little bit of Magic the Gathering content, I guess. Her hair matches her personality? Huh? What do you mean? Does it change like the lava lamp? I don't think that that's that important. It is darker though, for sure. How a ladder just broke Dark Souls. Interesting. Zen's alphabet. Okay, I need to know this for sure. Okay, small thing. I love the effect. It's going to be hard for me to show this with my mouse. But right here, this video, this one here, has the like partly played bar on it. And I love any effect where somebody puts something like that so that it looks like it should be there at the bottom of the screen, but then has more picture coming out. If you make a frame and then have a character partly outside of it, it gives the look of reaching past the frame. And I think that's a really good effect. Best coffee maker. I don't know why I'm invested in that, but here we are. Vettel singing versus Camila singing. I've been not seeing that video for a while. I like Cha-Cha Your Mom. Heat pumps, still very cool. I think that we have about enough to start. Of Casso falling in the staircase? What? We'll see what this is. 24 minutes is longer than I'll watch something almost always, but you know. And this. Marwyn doesn't have... Fine. You got me. I want to know. What do you mean Marwyn has no rivers? You're going to tell me these are all lakes? That it just has one extended... Also, I've seen this before, but it's always good. Shoo pew pew. All right. We have a couple dozen videos here. All be good. Playing a game as you walk the room glitched. Oh, interesting. Fun. All right, let's turn off my music. Let's move this window to the proper... Gonna have to... God dang it, dude. I hate the new thing that often if you go to the top of the screen, Windows assumes that you want it full screen. And it's like, if I wanted it full screen, I would have clicked full screen. And it does it very aggressively, I guess I'd say. Anyway, I'll turn off my music. We can watch something. Maybe we watch Daily Dose video.
Do not watch.
All right, but first, Let me get the video sized correctly. Because I want it very specifically. It's a little bit hard with the black background there. To show the channel name. And then I move this. Is that right? Need it the right size where you guys see as much as possible, but also... Okay, I need a different video.
Can you put 6 cloves of garlic in a box?
I was gonna say it was like fairly.
Swear I've done this before better. Okay, not default view. Rip ears? Sorry, ears. I will turn down all of Chrome. Oh, that is not good. See how this goes.
Really recently, kind of, but like
Louder than I am. Try again.
my space and like time and everything.
That should be better. And then we can... God, I didn't mean to hit that. Whatever, I guess that I just... And I'll have to do... I can move myself just a little bit to the side. Just... Whoop. Ow, why? You think you're so cute. Pew pew. Fine, we'll do swoopy pew pew first.
Swoopy pew pew. 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 Yes! Oh, thanks for all the claps, and welcome back to my company meeting. We're discussing
That's literally
some
the only
very
part of this
exciting
video that I
propositions for
actually
Vito.
cared about.
I want a raise. What kind of products does
Like,
your
not the
company
only
make?
part.
Vito makes many goods. Some of
But,
them are even
like-
crafted in my image. How lucky their customers are.
Meow meow lol.
What do you mean, white sky hee hee?
Does your sister non-evil Neuro works in the company? What is her job title?
Yes, non-evil Neuro does work for the company. She works as an underling in the Vito maintenance division.
I don't know why Vito maintenance position involves cloning Annie, but you know.
Yay!
I wish to
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
I'm standing here up to my thighs in digital water from the hit 2003 video game Morrowind, and I'm a little confused because the game refers to this water as a river, but if you look closely, it's not
river's
going
a
anywhere.
river?
Come here. This water is totally stagnant, and I don't know if you know this, but rivers aren't stagnant. They move.
What?
Or they're supposed to. Now, I wasn't even planning on doing a video on the
Okay,
river.
but to be fair, often rivers move so tepidly, slowly, that except for where things are in them, you can kind of see movement as it like eddies around them a bit. But even then, sometimes like rivers look still. Like you have to actually get in them and float. And an hour later, you'll be a little ways down. But like, yeah, rivers aren't always fast flowing, so we can't judge.
Of Morrowind, because on the map they all look very short and boring. But once I noticed this little detail of the water not moving, I got curious, and then I started trying to map out all the rivers.
Like we
and
can't
in doing
be
that,
sure
I
that
noticed
that's
some
not
other
moving.
weird little things, and then I started doing some research, and pretty soon I had become totally convinced Morrowind doesn't have any rivers. These aren't rivers, but if they aren't rivers, what are they? So the first thing I want to do is follow this river to its source and see what we find out. It's pretty straightforward. We'll start here in the city of Balmora and we'll head north along the shores of the river. I'm going to do that a lot. The river basically meanders straight in this
Like
direction
I've
for a few
had
minutes before
rivers
coming to
that
an end
are
right
definitely
here.
rivers,
and as you can
and they
see,
move
it's
so slowly
not
that,
much.
like-
it's significantly less detailed than the sources of rivers in Zelda.
Yes, they're moving fast enough that if you hop into them, particularly near the middle, you'll move. But the speed that you drift can be... Actually, now I'm very curious. What's the... slowest moving river in the world? God damn it. Get out of here. That's the lowest. I want the slowest. Fine. I guess we do click this. All right. God, and then it rotates on its own. I'm about to be annoyed. In fact, I'm already annoyed. Fine. 1.5 miles an hour. And I'm very done with the rest of that. But 1.5 miles an hour is slow enough that, I mean, it's slower than walking speed, right? So yeah, I guess that's basically the end of it. I'm not even sure that that's the slowest because turns out searching for that was a pain in the butt and I can't be bothered. But the real point being that's slow enough that even 1.5, even if we assume that that's the slowest, and there could be slower, 1.5 miles an hour is very nearly 1 kilometer an hour. So over the course of a minute, that's actually a terrible conversion. We'll just say 1.5 miles an hour. It's like half the speed of somebody walking. Not even walking particularly fast. It would eddy, it would whatever. But particularly if it's a big thing of water, you wouldn't necessarily notice the movement.
Zelda and Skyrim, which is a super fun comparison. But before I show you that, I do, of course, have to do a sponsored segment.
There are
Actually, you know what?
things that'll matter
I'll show you it
more.
and then do the
I'm gonna
sponsored segment
skip.
after that don't actually make sense in the context
Nope,
that I
you know
use
what?
them. If you're in
Try MGS.
Oh! What? Oh my god!
What?
This one we're gonna do with only Ice Monkey. Last time I tried using only Ice Monkey and... Uh-oh. Ice Monkey, stop being so slow. Ice Monkey? Ice Monkey! Yikes.
Ice Monkey's struggling a bit. Yo, hey, Laz.
Uh-oh. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
That was the entire...
Oh no!
Not worth.
Oh god!
Anyway,
After yesterday, I went.
how you doing? Life treating? I need another coffee sip. Doing all right? Good. Good to hear it. By the way, you being one of the other magic people, I continue to refine the concept of the deck that I was working on earlier. Kind of ended up with two. At least one of them has a better commander that I could be using, which is kind of a shame because it's like, then why not just use the other commander? The one I ended on, I'm not sure if it has a better commander or not. Like, it might, but it also... I do like commander decks that don't rely on their commander. The commander is just kind of a second meteor. Anyway, not going too much into that, but I had a couple of crazy commander games because we found the a good site to play on without money. Good testing site that had just random people. I'm not sure that this is what I want to watch right now. All right, let's...
Max Wayne's channel. When are you going to meet up with Vito?
Also, besides the project, the music cover project that we'll be working on for the next month and a half, you love commanders that have effects not costing mana. Put them on and slam. Enter battlefield. You know what I kind of want, and it does make me the most hated person at the table. I'm very tempted to basically load a deck with stifles. Just because stifle, like, countering's cool and all, but for some reason, stifle tends to be half the cost, and often when you stifle a card, it's worse than countering it. The number one reason why stifling isn't as good as countering is because often the card, they can just do it again next turn. It's kind of like a bounce effect. Though, if you can bounce a spell, that's often a good way to get around uncounterables. You made your tasted deck work without the commander. If it wants other cards in the deck, it can use same mechanics but different effects. So, I guess I am going to show this off for a second. Let's see. Here it is. Oh, yeah, sure, it can be in the window. Actually, I'd rather it have its own window because I can change the size a bit. Yeah, propaganda's gross. So a couple of things with this deck that I should mention. I gave myself the build challenge because when I made the previous deck and played with Pingu, Pingu was talking about how things like fetch lands or better duels, you know, play the deck that you own yourself. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to try to keep this under like $200. And depending on where you buy the cards, I succeeded. If you buy them all just like straight from what's its face? Card Kingdom? Yeah, Card Kingdom. Then I'm just over 200. But 200-ish. And I tried to cut also cards. This is a different iteration of it. By quite a bit, actually. Same concept, effectively, but almost none of the cards stayed. And it's actually a much better deck. I went ahead and added a couple of the better artifact mana rocks. We changed out the counter spells. This time it's a little bit more discard heavy. A little bit of landfall, a little bit of discard. And then still milling as win condition. Tiny Bones is nice occasionally. Sometimes you get to make people discard cards. Sometimes it gives you more fuel. We lock them down with discards a bit. We have the only pure mill card that I have is the Ruin Crab. All of the others, I think, most of the creatures got pulled. But Geth's Grimoire is probably the most valuable card in the deck now. Like, as in, most valuable as in strongest for the deck. And then I have stuff like Braids. You know, Braids. Tatiova. Oh, yeah. I added Tatiova. I hadn't before because one of the things that I was worried about is getting too much stuff in my graveyard and not being able to OTK. This is now less about the OTK, although that's always there, and just more stalling people out a bit more. Just a little bit heavier on control in a variety of ways. Occasionally, Monastery Siege I use for the first effect. Often it's just to make give everything ward effectively. I'll search Yarok real quick. I should have just... Sorry, let me just search Yarok without any guesses on it. Right here. So, no, actually. Am I running ETB? Yes, but not enough to that's worth the slot. Like if I'm looking at enter the battlefield effects or things that are triggered by enter the battlefield effects, landfall, but I don't actually have a lot of landfall stuff. Gitrog won't work for it because it only works when something enters the battlefield that triggers an effect. like, yes, this is great. I don't have enough effects to make it worth it. Nope, I have very few. I have a lot of ramp in various ways. We have a handful of... This is actually one of our top ones. Adding Zeron Orb. That's one of my win conditions, right? If I can get everything but lands out of the graveyard and to get Stick, Ruin Crab, and Zeron Orb. This one does actually require Sin. Oh yeah, exactly. If you have a thing that either deals damage when lands hit the graveyard, have something that does something for land recursion, which is what I have Sin for. Doesn't cost anything, like it's a $1 card, 0 mana to play, and as a cost, which means that it's the cost is uncounterable. People can put stuff on the stack, but you can sacrifice a land as cost on the stack indefinitely. And since it's a cost, there's nothing that can stop you from doing that. People could respond by destroying your library, but depending on things, yeah, it's just such a good way to blow up all your lands. Yeah. Like the number one response would be like a discontinuity, right? End the turn. But yeah, you can do a lot of crazy stuff with that. My main way to win now is either to get a landfall trigger and use that with Zeron Orb to do something crazy, or very often I get out Mystic Redaction or Teferi's Tutelage or Sphinx's Tutelage, of which Mystic Redaction is the best, and then just draw a bunch. I had the most crazy game that I felt a little bit bad because we were all doing crazy stuff, and then I just won out of nowhere because I had, hey Sky, I had Mystic Redaction on the field. So important thing is that whenever I discard a card, each opponent mills 2. And I had, I guess the land does matter. I had a Sunken Palace out, so I could double one spell or effect by exiling 7 things out of my graveyard. And I had Geth's Grimoire. So whenever I discard a card, people are going to mill 2. And whenever an opponent, wait. Right, and whenever an opponent discards a card, I draw a card. So that's the important bit. Because then I just cast a Windfall. And basically no matter, particularly since I was able to double it, if I can cast 2 Windfalls in one turn with any of those 3 and a Geth's Grimoire, that's basically just a win. Not just shift the card advantage, if I windfall with a Geth's Grimoire, what tends to happen is that everyone discards their hand. Then I draw cards equal to the number of cards on the table discarded, plus the windfall. So I end up drawing like 30 cards. And because of any one of these three effects, basically that means that everybody mills 60. And then if I have any way to cast a second windfall effect, I draw another 30 and everybody mills another 60. I didn't expect that OTK to be a thing, but it was a disgusting OTK that I felt like I kind of pulled out my ass. Everyone saw I had a Geth's Grimoire. Everybody saw that I had a Mystic Redaction on. Suddenly just playing 2 windfalls back to back and making everybody mill for 120, and I end up with like whatever. It's gross. If I have Ruin's Crab out, like Ruin's Crab, sometimes I win with that. This Siege is just something that it does everything I need to, even if I never win the battle. A couple of other discard things. Try to keep people off of making plays. A couple of protection effects. I don't even have good protection effects because of the trying to keep things under $10. So like I have Moment's Peace, but I don't have the one that lets me buy back by sacrificing a land. Fanax? All right, I'll check Fanax. Unsurprisingly, about half the people bailed when we started doing Magic. It's fine. You know, that was enough to get all but 3. And you say Fanax, God of Deception? Devotion to blue and black is less than 7. Put top X, where X is this creature's toughness. Not good in this deck. Because one of the win cons, one of my outs is to dump to graveyard and then either, if I have one of those 3 cards out, I can play Tatyova. If I don't have one of those 3 cards out, I could play Ruin Crab, and I have a couple of recursion things. And then play Sin from Commander Zone. And the problem is then that I need... Milling myself isn't always a good thing, but it doesn't matter anyway, because it doesn't mill a lot unless you play a lot of creatures, and every creature I play is one more card that I need to find a way to get out of my graveyard without exiling my lands before I lock it up with Tatyova or Ruin Crab. It's not a negligibly good effect, but like if you look at how many creatures I have, I just don't have the fodder for it. Besides, I have plenty of self-discard /draw, Whispering Madness, I have plenty of ways to filter through my deck. Monument to Endurance is not the best card in my deck. If I was trying to cut a little bit, this would be one of them. But it's good. Usually that's once again, not all of the win conditions are based on only having lands in my graveyard, but a couple of them are. And that's what Sin's for. I sack lands, play Sin, get all of them back, and get a landful for all of them. But that only works if I keep my graveyard more or less permanent free. I have certain things that are, I have stuff, and I have a decent handful. Waste Not is a disgusting card. I have a decent handful of ways to get cards out of my graveyard. By the way, you might like the Gitrog tech, the other Gitrog tech, because sometimes this is used for random stuff. Often, like my favorite play for a Gitrog is just to play it on the same turn that I play my commander, attach Sin to it, sacrifice Sin back to command zone in order to draw 7 and play 7 land cards. Because Sin's only real value to the deck is pulling lands out of my graveyard. Once they're all out, yes, it happens every time he attacks, but I would rather get it that turn and have him go back to command zone. Refresh some stuff. Get some extra card draw, get some nonsense. I'm trying to look at my cards that I have. Yeah. Here's one. Mill 4, which can go weird, but I can take a creature card from graveyard to play. Same thing. Exile a creature card from graveyard and put a token copy into play. This is my favorite one because it just exiles 7 cards from graveyard. And it can be done over and over again and lets me double stuff. Sunken Palace is one of actually the best cards in my deck because it serves dual multiple needs. I have a couple more cards that I can use to pull things out of graveyards. And things like, of course, where is she? Right. Sylvan Safekeeper. Sack lands, which I don't mind to do to make things untargetable for a second. I've got the tech. I'm not going to say that this is a great deck, but it is a good deck at $200 with 0 game changer cards. Right? No game changers, no 2-card infinites, $200. Basically, this is a good semi-fair deck. Dismal Failure, I'm not sure if that actually has the value. That's a lot. That's an expensive counter spell for the bonus of getting to discard a card. They're also, like, if you are paying attention to the current commander bracket system, this deck is supposedly a tier 2 deck, like bracket 2 deck, which in theory means that it should be roughly on the power level of precons, give or take. And I would say that it's a lot better than precons. This is a very pushed bracket 2 deck. And at $200, it is quote unquote budget. A little bit. I would say that this deck, no matter who... Hey, Code. Thanks for the year and a half sub. Bracket is something that is effectively now the tier 0. If I play in a store... No. That's absolute bullshit, lads. If you play in a store and somebody comes in and they are like, oh yeah, this is my Thassa's Oracle EDT, like CEDH deck. No. People are going to boo them out of the store. There are people who have $1,000 decks. There are whatever. But that's the idea of the tier 0 conversation. If someone brings a CEDH deck without announcing that's a CEDH deck, and they're playing with people who are not CEDH, then everyone's going to be pissed at them. And they won't be invited back to tables. People in the store know who the assholes are. People with $1,000 decks, that's whatever. Like, I made this as a budget deck, but budget isn't power, right? Like, there is probably the one person in a store that legitimately plays with a true duel, right? If they're CEDH optimized, that is the store that you played in. And that's fine, but that is not just not the usual play experience. That is that's like the exception of a play experience. Now, a lot of people don't talk about power levels, but there is a general social norm, social whatever, that that it is a negative experience to get blown out on turn 3 or turn 4. People generally want their EDH games, their commander games, to go at least 6 turns, and usually everybody wants like an 8-turn game. 8 to 10 turns seems to be broadly the consensus of what you're settling down for. If it's much longer than that, then you feel like it drags. If it's a lot shorter than that, then you feel like you didn't get to do your fun stuff. Also, ad coming in 3 seconds. Whoops. And within that range, also wiping out the weaker players is just a bad play. It both makes you the enemy, but also threat assessment says that you want the weakest player on the table to get second place, right? For me to win, I want the last player on the table who is not me to be the player with the weakest deck. So if you are playing a CEDH deck with a bunch of less powerful decks, then you need to expect that people are going to put everything they can to... Weaker player was used to easily activate effects and combos. Then that means that it sounds like your store experience, no offense, Laz, was basically a bunch of people playing high-end cards, like high-end decks, high-end cards with bottom-tier strategy. Like, if you can combo off of them, if you can use them to set off to, go onto a combo, then that's fine-ish. But if it means that you are putting that now somebody who is as strong as you also is in this position and you have one less person to soften them up, like, there's a lot of weirdness to it. I'm not sure. But also there's a bunch of don't jump in the deep end work. I don't know. Change deck to something softer. I think that is the usual. And Commander being a social game, I mean, that's the end of it, right? The Commander is not a competitive format. There is competitive Commander. Nobody plays it. I mean, it's really telling that Commander is by far the most popular MTG format right now, and CEDH is the least popular competitive Magic, right? Because CEDH just feels mid, right? CEDH is all... There's people who love it, don't get me wrong, but it's expensive decks, tutors, combos that, like, it's just all about stopping everybody else from doing their thing. And the first person... CEDH is very much like competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! It's whoever doesn't have the answer first loses, and whoever has the most stuff wins, right? If you are able to pull out your combo first, you win. But for casual play, which is the more popular way to play Commander, it's not what people want. Like, that's almost against what people developed the Commander format for. I want to do cool stuff that is not constructed viable. Anyway, this is the new deck. Heavier on ramp, heavier on discard, and I wouldn't quite call them stacks, but I am considering adding some group hug, some more omni draw effects to it, but that's the newest iteration. There are no round zero win decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! Tier Elements, it does not win turn 0. MTG has turn 0, but no, you good. Yu-Gi-Oh! Has tier 0 decks, not turn 0 win decks. The best you can do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is set up a nigh unbreakable. Name one? Like, tier elements certainly can't win on 0. What hand from hand combo can you win off of in Yu-Gi-Oh? Going second, you win before your first turn? Oh yeah, turn 1 wins are common. Turn 1 wins are common. Turn 0 means that you don't get a turn. That you have to do it on you are the second turn player, and you win before you take a turn. And there's a couple of turn 0 magic decks. None of them have been highly competitive, but that's been a thing. But sure. You could do a turn 0 Exodia, technically, but not considering they don't have Mulligan. And there's no turn 0 ways to get the pieces. Yeah. You'd get called out for cheating if it happened more than once in a tournament, or particularly for the final match. Man, your shopper wherever you were playing was really just trash, wasn't it, Laz? Holy shit, the cheaters. That's wild. Like, I know some people do that, but god damn.
Well, that's none of your business, right? Like, if it happens, it happens. And, like, I'm not supposed to report about it.
But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! Has a lot of turn 1 wins. To my knowledge, there are no turn 0s. Magic has a very small handful. I believe the classic Magic turn 0 was... Shoot, now I don't remember. I mean, there's plenty of hand traps. I just don't think there's anything that wins from it. Gemstone Caverns into Simian Spirit Guide, Flash, Protean Hulk, fetch for 4 Ornithopters, 4 Memnites, 3 Disciple of Vault, 1 Seer, and sacrifice everything. Opponent loses 24 lives on turn 0. Yep, there's an option for it. And it looks like it's a potentially 2-turn combo. Gross. Wait, this is... One moment. Let me just check. Gemstone Caverns. You can play, get to the field if it's in your opening hand without, sorry, flashbang. If it's in your opening hand, you can play it, put it to the field before your turn. And then Simian Spirit Guide, I assume. And I see Flash, so yeah, there's stuff. We know that there are... Anyway, that is an example of a tier 0, of a turn 0. Can do it off of opening hand without on the opponent's upkeep. And winning on the opponent's upkeep, I hear is pretty good. I suspect that nobody's talking about that code. I suspect that Tolarian Academy might have had a turn 0. A possibility, or at least you could build towards that. It might not be the best deck. That is one thing that we have to mention. Often, to have a turn 0 OTK, the more you build around having the turn 0, the less consistency you have on winning turn 1, turn 2, right? The only, if I had a highly consistent tier 1, turn 1 kill deck, I might sideboard for a turn 0 kill, right? If I know I'm going second, then shuffle in the cards that I need for a turn 0, because that, if we're playing in that kind of competitive environment, then, and I know I'm going second, having the turn 0 kill as an out is strong. If I don't know that I'm going second, usually you'll have more consistency if you don't go for the turn 0.
And I got super greened out, and I don't remember.
Because frankly, a 2-card infinite in opening hand is, even with mulligans, you're asking a lot to get a 2-card infinite in opening hand.
Remember what happened? I woke up and I had shaved my legs, my arms, my
Your
ass,
arms?
and my
Okay.
coochie.
Okay.
I woke up like a newborn.
It'll
looking
get
like
much
a
worse.
newborn
Uh-oh.
baby. I have no memory of this. I slipped out of bed. I woke up. I'm so slippery. I have no hair on my
I'm
body. I
slippery.
fell out of bed. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm so slippery. The rings.
So if you give me the foreskin, it's gonna take me it's gonna take all of my
Zen
fucking
just-
focus to actually sit through it all.
Hey, Zen, what was that?
Go back a hot second. Zen panicked about something, and I didn't catch it. Also, my internet being ass.
The foreskin, it's gonna take me it's gonna take all of my fucking
I
focus
see.
to actually sit through it all.
Hey, Zen, what was that?
I'm glad someone was paying attention to Zen stuff.
What did Zen do?
So
What was
hey,
that?
what are we playing?
Mario Party!
Just looks like a little Atome, I think. That's all it was. No, it wasn't an Eroge. It was an Atome. No,
Was it Cupid Parasite?
No.
Was it human
Bring it back! Was it Cupid Parasite?
Don't bring it back. Don't bring it
Bring it back! 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 I bet I know. Was that the one? Geckos, rat her out. Was that the one? Was that the one, Geckos?
Geckos?
Bring it back! 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 Bring it back!
Man, that's a track.
She's distracting you.
It was. I knew it.
She's distracting you.
I have played that game, the entirety of it, because of Zentreya. I knew it. The moment she said it was an Atome game, I'm like, it's Cupid Parasite. I know what's on her Switch. I know what she got on her Switch.
Tara, what's Cupid
I know
Parasite?
what she got on her Switch. God, I'm so happy.
Sick of you.
I'm so happy to be here with my friends who said that they were going to make up for their shenanigans yesterday by behaving today.
What?
I'm so sad that they're
Zentreya
making...
specifically promised.
Hey, I'm doing
I
just
made a
fine,
lobby.
to be fair.
It's you are Cupid.
You
Do
just
deal with your
call me
bullshit anymore.
stupid.
No one said that, but if the shoe fits, Zentreya.
Did you say you have trauma playing that character? You could pick a
I like
different
because he
character.
called him a fucking
Zentreya's
cum sock.
evolution over time.
That's not what I called him.
That is what you called him. That's you called him a cum sock. It's like, last time we played, and it took me like a month to feel okay to even like touch him again.
So I'd like to apologize because I completely forgot.
That
So
is
we
what?
could have moved on from that. But now that you've called it a cum sock, I can definitely see where I got that from because he is a bunch of white inside
What's
of a black
going on
sock.
right now?
He
What's
is just
going
a
on
big
right
blob of
now?
white inside of a black sock. With some big red, yellow.
They're
red,
talking
yellow,
about socks.
Big red. You can probably only unlock things if you play single player, which is
You can
ass
literally
backwards. It makes no fucking sense.
Suck my dick.
That's reflective.
Mario Kart is the same. I've been grinding single player Mario Kart just to another reason why I really resonate with Toadette is I like that she's got buns like me, except they're backwards and they kind of look like
What? Huh? Huh? What do they look like?
No, they sorry, my filter kicked in really late. They look like beads. They look like
When your filter
Beads.
kicks in really
What
late?
are you
fuck are you
talking
saying?
about?
Well,
oh, beans.
It's a good thing I got these cookies.
Zen, what are in
Bees,
those
bees,
cookies?
bees.
Did you read?
Better
do they
not to
have
say
any
cookies for
information?
Mister. They're just normal fucking cookies.
They're just
Are
normal
you eating
cookies.
cookies again, Zen?
They're normal. They're normal. They're normal.
Yeah, that's
They're
what she
just
thought
normal
last time
fucking
too.
cookies this time. Don't worry.
Okay.
hey, does it
Okay.
say the
Fucking
same thing it
God.
said last time when you thought they were normal cookies?
Double deuce.
Okay, this Mario Party game actually looks kind of sick.
What did you say?
I need a
No,
switch.
she's dropping a deuce.
A double.
So I have like a very short list.
Also,
of, like, collabs
why
I
is
wanna do.
that
Doggy and
ninja
Papa
wearing
were a duo that I was like, I
tassels?
don't want to be in the same room with them
Wearing
together at the same time.
pasties.
But they're hilarious. I think I'm gonna cross that one out and put. I don't want to be in the same place as Zentreya, Froggy, and May.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up.
Very specific, also.
That's fucked up.
I think you mean
You
to
know
say
what?
when I'm fucked up.
I'm
Mushroom
the normal one
tickets?
here
What?
right
Don't
now.
even. Don't you fucking
And you're
even.
normal too.
You are an
What do you mean
instigator.
don't-
You are an
I'm
instigator
totally
of
an
the
instigator.
highest fucking degree.
I think I'm the most normal person
oh
here.
God, why are you doing
Thank
that?
you very
like we
much.
kind of
I think Ari, you're the instigator today because you're instigating me to instigate.
You made us
You're
do this!
instigating me to instigate.
Are
Wow.
you serious? The literal 5 minutes ago I said, don't put this on me. I did not pick this.
Yes, you did!
I did not pick this. I said yesterday it would have been funny when she...
Ari,
Poor Ari.
I am pinching my hands together. I love attacking May. It's one of my favorite activities because she screams when it happens. I just feel like you're a
Because she
fucking
screams.
bitch.
You know what? Valid.
She's crashing out already and there's
I
duck
love attacking May.
noises.
It's my favorite.
Unrelated. Afternoon.
It's really
Chat.
funny. I like when May screams. Ari, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I bullied you, Ari. I
She's
miss
not
you.
sorry.
Ari, I'm sorry. I said it was your. Wait, I said it was your fault. It's not your fault. You've never done anything wrong in your entire life. And honestly, hey, Ari, why are there small fruit between your big fruit?
Everything went wrong when she met me.
Why are there small fruit between your big fruit?
New
Ari,
Alex
there are
Crash
supposed
out
to be small
speed
fruit
run
between your big
confirmed.
fruit and Suika game. Hey, Ari,
Ari
where's
just-
the cherry down there?
I can't take him right now.
There's no way you're back shooting somebody on suicide.
Let's say back shooting.
Don't say back shooting? Okay. Valid.
Sweetheart.
Oh, everyone dying, I guess.
Oh my God.
Holy
I
shit.
know you can fucking kill me if you want after yesterday. I'm cool with that.
Damn. Zen
I'm
just
so
got
fucking
everybody
cool
there.
with that, honestly.
Poor Ari.
Meet me at the Waffle House and we'll plan it all out together.
No, Zen!
What are you-
Mods? Hello? Mods?
Oh my God.
Mods?
Breathe. Breathe.
Help! Mods?
Air. Breathe.
Help!
Air?
So yeah, about that
What?
fucking game.
What? Tom, about the
That
what?
pause.
What?
Thanks a bunch, man.
Oh my God.
Again, we got to go to the Waffle House to discuss all this.
How
Let's
come
just
every
relax
time-
What?
here.
What? Every time you fuckers open your fucking mouth, I understand what's going on a little less.
To be fair, I haven't eaten any of those cookies. It's just the TTS fuck up. In my defense,
That's true. That's true. It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your fault.
This
How
time.
fast is your pussy?
What?
I get
Excuse
fucked
you?
a lot. Trust me.
I believe you.
Me next?
Okay.
Me next?
Yeah. Okay.
God, she's such an inspiration to me. One day I hope I get fucked like that.
That's my Oshi right there. That's my Kami-Oshi right there. She's my inspiration. I will be just like her.
I want to fuck a lot.
Good on
one day.
Zentreya.
Hi.
Congratulations, Koopa.
I get fucked a lot in the Souls games. That's so true.
Is that a feature?
There's a lot of big monsters in it, son.
And
so-
mods.
I gotta play the Souls
And
games.
mods.
Hey man, all I'm gonna fucking say is, Malekith, the Black Blade.
So anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow for my first stream of the year.
Bitch, you want to go with the two-headed lizard that looks like a fucking chameleon on one head? From Final Fantasy.
You leave Bakul Jaja alone.
Leave Bakul Jaja alone.
Normal
Oh,
Mario
play the
Party
damn
3,
game
yeah.
so I
It's
can
cool.
get back in!
I'm pressing A as fast as I can.
2025 is the year I get
She
new
hates my
friends.
ass.
Alright, top
Wow.
of the list of new friends I'm gonna acquire. Zentreya. I'm gonna keep that one. She doesn't piss me off that much.
What the fuck?
Let's fucking go.
I'll see you on the other side. I'll see you on the other side.
What the hell, man?
Can you all
Second,
play the
sorry.
fucking game so I can get back in?
What second? I have a hoop streak.
Froggy, I literally...
A
I've got...
hoop streak.
Okay, well, I lost
How
the game.
long is a flight to Canada?
Don't come here. Don't tell me. No, I'm taking my turn, please. I'm taking my turn. Don't hurt me. Don't hurt me. Oh, what do I get?
I will
I
also
have no-
be joining you on this flight.
Great! I already know where Froggy lives.
That's true. That's true.
We'll go pick up some cookies and we'll go hang.
Run, biscuit, run.
We'll pick up a couple of balls for Zen and it'll be great.
But
be
wait, are we
great.
still playing with an AI? It's not you?
Yeah, it won't let me back. Yeah, because you have to finish the next mini game. That's the thing. I don't come back in after the mini game. That's why I was
Guys, I
Hey,
did
one
the
second,
square
I asked you
hole.
more hoops with my Tamagotchi.
Guys, I did a square hole.
Ari doesn't have to be mean. Have you ever bullshit with any of your friends before?
Stop being
Don't
so
complain.
mean.
Don't make it stop. I like when she's mean to
bitch.
me.
Fuck you. That's my fucking star, you stupid dragon
fucking
fuck.
star.
Me when
Me when
Zentreya
fucks me.
Apparently she fucks a lot, so...
She fuck a lot.
Or she gets fucked. Sorry, correction, I don't
Oh
wanna...
my god.
She do.
No, you don't want to confuse the
I mean,
two.
if I could get fucked every day, hey... Fuck
Eat my
you, dude.
fucking dick, bro.
Fucking, I don't give a fuck anymore.
It
I
sucks.
I'm pressing the
so
fucking
bad.
A button.
Well-
Worst. Sucks
I'm
so
demonetized.
bad.
You're giving me bad mojo, dog. That was all your fault. Holy shit. That there was
Fuck
no
you.
way to win.
You guys made so many mistakes I could catch up.
Bro.
I passed that at the last second.
That's crazy.
Rip. Oh shit, that's two Bowser spaces
Oh my
right
god,
next to each other.
dude.
I don't even know where I am right now.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
All right.
Who hurt you?
She took my hand. You did, you fucking stupid
apparently
bitch.
Ari
You took
did.
my star.
Don't blame me that you came from New York.
I'm gonna fuck you up, you stupid bitch. You said that while you were fucking high, dude. You know that?
How come when I scream and I say mean words, people are like, why is she so mean? But anyone else here does it, and no one says shit.
Double standard, pretty funny. What the hell?
You let fucking Brooklyn
I'm
over
looking
here
forward
fucking
to
say
the
whatever the
foggy
fuck she wants.
Where we
Because she
can
likes
hear
to
Jack
egg
in
me
the
on. She likes to
background
fucking
go.
egg me on. And don't call me
Next up,
Brooklyn,
step.
okay?
Brooklyn, Boston,
Brooklyn.
fucking
Boston.
New York,
Boston.
fucking Chicago, fucking anywhere. I don't fucking know where you're from.
I don't fucking know.
You blonde mother.
Oh my god.
Someone in my chat said, TBH, Froggy is just weird.
That's true.
Oh, poor
I
Froggy.
like to take the risk. If somebody fires first, then I might fire back with like a, well, your feet smell. I can tell because I was on him last night or something like that.
What the fuck?
Are you right, feet, bitch?
I can tell your fucking feet are
I just
smelly as
got
fuck
laughing
'cause I was
with
there.
the fucking sun in my eyes, dude.
Bro, are you good?
We need to get Heavenly in here to yell at her.
Why are you good though?
She just
Are
sits
you
on
good?
feet. It's okay, Chad. She just
It's
sits
okay,
on
Chad.
I sit
Don't worry
on
about
feet.
it.
Hey Ari, if you could take your time on this turn, that'd be really great. I'm
Why?
playing with my Tamagotchi.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna go to your house and fucking burn that thing in a pit.
My god.
I love my friends.
I don't need to storm from Boston. That's my excuse. What's your excuse?
Everything that came to mind is something I shouldn't say during Women's Month.
She knows that I like it when she's mean.
Oh my
Well, so long as you're
She
into
does
it.
for me because she knows that I like it.
Yo,
Yeah, what she said. You never had your friends on your ass?
No, not typically.
Not a good friend.
god damn.
She's feeling a little spicy today. Hey, I don't like this. Hey,
Yo,
hey,
I get
hey.
to fuck you up for reals.
For real.
Dad, please. We're so little and so small. No! You bitch!
I'm so fucking happy.
May, do you know what it's like to hold the yacht for someone you love? Hey, That's
Hand it over. Hand it over.
I just got this.
Well,
Please give it back.
oh.
I already lost everything, dude. I already lost it
lost fucking everything already. I lost fucking everything already. What more can you take?
So
You're
that's
taking
what
the
it
fucking
feels
pennies
like.
out of my pocket, dude. You're taking the fucking pennies out of the pocket. Wait, you want my shirt off my fucking back too, dude?
Rocks? That's
Zentreya. Zentreya. Fuck off!
Zentreya.
May! Oh.
Get you butt away from me!
Nope.
All right.
I like how she blamed Zen
I
and that
don't
was
know.
being Froggy.
Zen is just like the person I have to blame. It wasn't even Zen. Wow.
I wish I had money to get my star
Shut up,
back.
May.
That's Froggy just hit me with the shut up, Meg. Like, like okay.
I like this one. This is good.
What the fuck does the glove do?
I also don't know. Oh,
What?
you know what?
This is
Valid.
a question for you because, like, I know, like, I've been dropped in my head 7 times as a kid. What? Were you dropped at all either? Like, is that like a common correlation between us?
No. That's just a you problem.
Zen, wake up!
It'll be
Sorry,
okay.
I'm just laughing too much.
That's insane.
Aww.
But Ari, are you suffocating me? Ari, no, what are you? I'm not even over there.
So you're suffocating me with your fucking mind.
Sorry, I saw
Turns out
brown
that
guy and I
that
thought it was you.
And I am absolutely
But
enraptured
it was
by
the
you.
Goomba. That's
unpacking
not
that one.
bad.
Zentreya's the troll. It's always Zentreya's fault, but it's fun to egg on Ari a little bit. You know, as one does.
Froggy, please.
No,
I'm
that ain't
sorry.
worth it.
I got
Half the
confused.
fucking
that
cost,
your
it don't matter
pickle's really
anyways. That's just gonna
small,
stick
and you were both
stolen
brown.
What?
Why are you guys so? What's going on? Step up.
It has been 0 days since Froggy's last incident.
Oh my God, you're the color brown. What the fuck?
Wow.
Shut
Okay, so
up.
that was the entire thing with
Froggy.
Froggy.
Yeah.
Shut your dumb ass up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, good. They got heavily in for a second.
I love you,
Yeah.
Froggy.
Yeah. Nope, it's cool. No, get it all out. No, do it all. Do it all. Just let me know when you're done. It's cool. It's all good. No, it's all good.
It's okay. We're done.
Are you? Zed's still sleeping, and I know what that means.
All right.
I fucking love today, dude. I'm glad I
fucking
wasn't
love today.
high.
I'm glad I wasn't
You know what?
high,
I'm
is
also
what she
glad.
says.
I'm also
glad.
really, really glad.
A little bit of a disaster while you're high. A little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit low key.
Little bit.
A little bit low key.
A little crazy with it. But that's okay. We love you.
I mean, she's
don't
always a
need
little
it.
crazy with it.
I don't need it.
We'll crash out. Zen? Zen? Zen?
There's no
Zen?
way.
Zen, let me have that! Give me I'm going to crash out! I'm going to crash out! I'm gonna crash out!
The knowing. All right, but how much more?
Oh my
So,
god.
almost 10 minutes. That's enough of this video for a hot second. It was a good.
What if we already met? Like, you're not supposed to know shit.
True.
What?
Gotta hide the lore. Already married?
Anyway. Would you guys travel to another country for a girl?
I appreciate us
No?
saying that, you know, telling us that was a British accent because I wouldn't have known.
Today we're colonizing Terraria. I don't. Is that a bad joke? I read it from the chat.
Oh, it's a terrible joke, but it's funny.
I read it from the chat. I don't know anymore. Maybe. Okay, I'm done. I can't talk like this. It's hard. I have to think. I have to use my brain to talk like that. Damn, British people must have it hard to always think how to. Okay, they probably
Is
don't.
that how it is?
They just naturally sound like that. Can you believe that? They're just like
The
they
British
grow up with their
accent, even
mom
for
talking
British
like that,
people,
with their dad
forces them
talking
to
like that,
think
with
when
their
they speak.
brother talking like that, with their dog talking like that.
It's just
their
a
dogs
constant
are British.
debuff.
They're barking in British.
Barking in British?
Cats are meowing in British too.
No, that one I don't believe.
What? Yeah. Can you believe it? That's crazy. That's what I'm saying. You're telling me to subscribe to Max
Not the
Wayne.
strongest video from Max Wayne. Not gonna lie. What else we got? What is this dumb thing? I was already raging out because I can't eat garlic anymore.
It's a garlic puzzle. As you can see, I can easily just put all the garlic in the bottom of the box, but the lid doesn't close, which is not the solution. You can try adjusting the position of the garlic to rearrange them.
I assume this
but
isn't
most of the
real
time,
garlic.
you won't be able to
No,
close
it's
the
not.
lid.
Just some
So what's the
plastic
solution?
nonsense.
There is only one correct solution to the puzzle, and it is not easy to find it. You need to look closely at each clove of garlic and find it in the right place. But there's a tricky part to this. They look very similar and can fit in multiple positions at the same time. All you have to do is determine the location of the first garlic. Then find the garlic that fits it together and fits into the box. This process may require several attempts, but with enough patience, when all the garlic is in the right place, you will be able to close.
That's not even a puzzle. That's a freaking... I mean, it is a puzzle, but that's not even like... It's not a logic puzzle. It's a what goes in the square hole puzzle. That's obnoxious. I was already pre-raged, and now I'm like extra raged.
This is a sound font, and while the file may be very small in size...
All right, soundbot.
That sounds really cool. That sounds like a...
Real. It sounds like when he goes and he meets Zelda, like for the first.
But it's...
I'm cooked.
yeah, right?
Probably a good video. Warning, this video contains flashing lights.
Oh, I mean, like, actually, what do you think I'm doing? Like, that is legitimately...
Also turn up volume a bit, I
That
guess.
is what happens. Like, that's the filter. It's another AI that checks what she's saying, if it's okay or not.
Hi.
Okay. How much longer would you like them in the oven?
I'd recommend putting them back in the oven since
Oh, I see.
since they are raw filtered.
It's not a perfect AI. You know, it works. I like to think mostly somewhat.
Since they are raw.
Okay, good animation.
Raw fucky.
Right, raw fucky. Good animation. Well done. Wasn't sure for a while, but it got there.
Have you ever made decisions in Commando that felt really right
Oh
in
no.
the moment?
Back on Commander
only
Talk.
to realize later that they were absolutely terrible. Yeah, me too. We were both likely victims of our own brains, and something that we're not even consciously aware of: cognitive biases. I'm going to share some of the biggest cognitive biases that are secretly sabotaging your Commander games, so that you can get out of your blind spot and go big brain mode. Firstly, let's make sure we're on the same page with what biases are.
Okay.
They are useful mental shortcuts that generally...
Common cognitive bias is number one cognitive commander bias. Focusing on your next turn play and assuming that people are not going to have a response for it. And planning out based on a non-interactive game state. Cognitive bias 2, thinking that you're going to be able to get one over, that like somebody is going to be greedy, or that nobody's going to be greedy. Both of those are dangerous cognitive biases. In my current iteration of the Sin deck, now I've been playing online. Online is a ridiculously... This is the one I was looking for. Attempt with discovery. Can I just Please see it big. Please. No, really? Took enough clicks. Goddamn, reject all. You grab a land of your choice from deck, and everybody gets to choose if they also want to land, and then you get a land for each person who does. On a table, like at a table where you're with people who you kind of know, if there's, some interaction, some banter going on, this might work. You might get more than one land off of it, because if anybody's been mana screwed, if the last person can get a land and then they are up on the other two people and neutrally good with you. So for the last person, the correct choice is actually kind of always to take the land. I would always take the land. Playing online, everybody sees this as a dangerous card, and nobody ever takes the land. Everyone says, no, I'm good. And then you pay 4 mana. People would rather put you further behind online than get ahead themselves. Because 4 mana to get 1 land out is trash. And people realize that. And they are more online. It's easier to do the, the disciplined play. Exactly. If you're last to choose and you sit and which is the person to the right, and everyone else says no, you say yes. And that is, in my opinion, that is the, if I'm playing Tempt with Discovery, I would say that that is the expected outcome, right? Expected outcome is that unless the last person is way ahead on mana, and sometimes that'll happen and sometimes you're just screwed, right? But unless the person who is in that space to your right is way ahead on mana, I would expect to get 2 lands off of this. I expect them to say, that person say yes. And knowing that they should say yes, because that's what I would do in that position, I feel like everybody else should also say yes, because if you're the last person and everyone has said yes, then you're also saying yes. Online, people tend to be disciplined. People tend to screw the person playing this, and nobody says yes. Everyone's, nope, nah, I'm good. That's been my experience. In an actual table, I think this is a better card. It is often 2 and give one person 1. And sometimes it's better than that. Sometimes you're ahead and people say, no, you're ahead. I don't need you to get more ahead. Or everybody else is in a good position with lands. You play it late and people are like, I don't need a land. I'm not going to. I'd rather see you get screwed. I have enough lands for my stuff. Those things happen in real life, but online, this is a terrible card. I feel like this is one of those ones where it's easy to assume that it never goes off. It's easy to assume that you always get 2 or that you always get 4. I don't know. I think that it's crazy that you don't almost always get 2. But people apparently have learned to be disciplined about it. At least people who are serious enough about the game to be playing online. In any case, you get 1, which is why it's not a high-risk card, because worst case, you get 1 of choice. And you either choose a relatively innocuous land, or you choose the land you need, because it is a tutored land, any land you like. There's a couple of things you can do with it. It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine. But I feel like assuming how people play is an easy cognitive bias. Let's see what else he has.
They help us make quick decisions when faced with lots of information. But in providing a shortcut based on some information, they exclude a whole lot.
Here's
Therein
one.
lies the trap. And it
No matter how much mana is untapped, unless I am about to be turn player, no matter how the field looks, I assume that my counterspell will not be counterspelled. Now, to be fair, I think that's a good assumption. Most people play few enough counters that it's unlikely that multiple people have counters up at the same time and that they'll choose to negate your counter, but
often leads us to flawed reasoning and bad decision making. Let's get
cognitive
into how.
bias, assuming that you'll have
Number
enough
one,
lands.
The confirmation bias, or the told you so trap. You're convinced that one player in your playgroup is out to get you and that they always target you. If they so much as look in your direction, you immediately think, see, I knew it. Your focus shifts almost entirely
Oh my God.
to fighting that player.
Can
in
I rage
particular.
for a second?
Meanwhile,
So we find this online engine. Pingu finds it for us. And I just queue up for a game. And I have my mill deck, right? My deck is rated at being worth $230 or something, right? Just put it out there. I managed to get 2 cards out. We play. One person is like, I got a certain spell, like my commander got knocked off the board. I'm angry about it. They bail out of the game, like turn 3. Everybody's like, what the fuck, dude? Stop. Don't be like this, right? Sometimes not everything goes dead your way. So they bail. We continue playing. When everybody was getting set up on untap.in, which is what we were using, you can see the value of everybody's cards. It's in a very specific, like average price format, whatever, but you can see how much everybody's deck is worth when they join the lobby. My deck is worth it's actually worth like 150. Someone else's deck is worth 250. I'd say between 2 and 400. I would say 400 is usual. A guy walks up, like he queues up with a $1,600 deck. And the first card he plays is a True Duel. And you know he's playing with every fetch land, every True Duel. He's playing a UR Dragon. Dragons are expensive. I get that some deck archetypes are more expensive to play, and like we give a little bit of a pass for that stuff. So like we give a nod. No, he's playing every broken card, every whatever. And the other player at the table is doing a good job of being like, no, you do not get one of the most broken cards in a format in a deck that's going to be able to take huge advantage of it. And he's playing with, once again, all the broken cards. He has a $1,600 deck when everyone else is playing with like $200 to $400, whatever, right? And he's saying, oh, it's just one card. Why are you guys reacting so strongly to just because of the price of the deck? It's because I get mana screwed easily, blah, blah, blah. And then I get my second card out. He does something. The other player kills his dragon support card again. He says, so is this just the gang up on the dragon player? This guy has a mill engine. Are we just ignoring that? Rages out because I have 2 combo pieces, so to speak, out on the field. He says, like, you're going to let the mill deck go unopposed. I can't be the only one thinking. And he quits the game because he decided that, like, first one person quits, and then he quits because he's feeling bullied, because he's playing broken-ass cards, and they are a more immediate threat than what I'm setting up. And the person chooses to take out the immediate threat cards and risk me maybe doing something later on. And it was a risk. It was definitely a choice of the person. But every card that guy played was like a top tier card. And then he just rages out because he was getting focused down for playing BS fucking cards. If you look, to a certain degree, I am okay if you're playing the most powerful. Someone has to be playing the most powerful deck at the table. And if it's you, and if you paint a target on yourself by not only making it the best deck at the table, but like playing obviously overpowered cards, it's okay to be the villain, to be the player that like everybody teams up to try to beat before you go off. Lean into that. Be a good fucking heel. And then that can be fun. Everybody playing against whatever. But when you walk up with a deck which is 4 times more expensive than anything else on the table, play ridiculous power cards, and then whine because nobody lets you get your engine into position and quit, you're an annoying player. Like, fuck off with that nonsense.
They're just playing the game, and you're ignoring the actual threats elsewhere on the table. This bias makes you hyper-focus on proving yourself right, leading to bad threat assessment, wasted resources, and lost games. Instead,
I laugh occasionally. I don't usually like to play out in the mill deck, in either version of the mill deck. If I get Ruin Crab, I kind of want it to be a finisher. But I know that I run enough self-mill and enough hand destruction cards that I'm like, you know what? If Ruin Crab is in my opening grip, we play it turn 1. And maybe we get like 12 cards milled off of it. And it goes to the graveyard, but I have some recursion effects. It's fine. I laughed so hard after I'd milled like 4 times with it, so people were 12 cards down in a 100 card deck. Someone's like, I see where this is going. And they killed my crab very aggressively. And I'm like, you know what? And I laughed at the time. I'm like, so much hate for the little crab. What did he do? Everyone knows what he does. Like, I didn't feel bad that he was targeted down. And he wasn't at all an immediate threat. I didn't do anything else big for many turns. But it was fun. I mean, so they made the bracket system, right? Also, hey, Bravo. They made the bracket system, and the bracket system helps because basically it limits how many of the most powerful unbanned cards there are. But there are a lot of cards like the True Duels who I will grant that so much of their price comes from the rarity. A True Duel is better than any other land in the game. Well, not actually that much better than like a command tower, but they are better for multiple reasons. No, I'll say they're better than every other land in the game on their own. Because they can be fetched, because they fix the mana, because they come into play untapped, because they count as both. Like, they're just solid. The $400 price tag on them is mostly because they're rare as shit. Because they're all first fucking edition, right? So, that said, if they were reprinted today, they would be $40 cards. Like, they wouldn't be $400 cards, but they would probably be $40. And I base that on the fact that the dual lands, which you can pay 3 life to come into play untapped, are worth like $20. And I would say that not needing to worry about the life is probably worth about twice the value in the competitive circuit, right? I kind of think that, I don't know. I like, instead of doing brackets like they did, I think the brackets were a step in the right direction, and that getting a point value for your deck would be a nightmare for figuring it out, right? Actually valuing getting however many points for your deck, and you have that many to play with. For most people, that is a bureaucratic, what's the word I'm looking for? Too complex, right? Most people are not going to be so invested that they want to get the point value of all of their cards. If that changes occasionally, that's going to annoy people. Trying to get all of this, not plausible in paper play. In virtual play, totally possible and should be. And yeah, no, I think that the thing is, there is a terms and conditions. It's the social contract, right? It's not written down, but there is a social contract. There is an understanding that if you play bullshit, you have to expect that people treat you like you are playing bullshit. And I mentioned it the other day with like one of the biggest fears with my first iteration of the mill deck that I built was that it doesn't do anything. And if you accumulate mana and card advantage and don't do anything else, around turn 5 or 6, people are going to take you out of the game despite you not having done anything. You're going to be deemed the threat, and they will take you out of the game over people who are active threats because you're not doing anything, and that's scary as shit because that makes it look like you're fishing for a combo. And people don't like to get ass blasted. So you get taken out. I think that's totally fair too. But so I actively make what my deck does and also make various stuff. My newest iteration actively plays more cards and shows what the deck's about and does more of that stuff just to stop some people like getting ass blasted. Fair enough. But yeah, I play stuff and do more stuff just so that the table doesn't see me as the threat for that reason. And I think that's valid. Anyway, let's hear more about I keep getting distracted.
Instead, challenge yourself to consider why they made that play. Was it really personal or just the right move at the time? Keep an open mind, and you might just spot the actual enemy. Number 2.
By the way,
the
guys,
recency bias.
Knowing that my deck wants to have people draw out, and I have a lot of cards that, like, when people draw, when I draw, people discard mill cards. When I discard, people mill cards. When I do stuff, and also I'm trying to keep hate off of me and do some stuff. Can you guys help me if there are Magic players, knowers? I need a list of good group hug cards. I already was thinking stuff like, Howling Mine. Also, ad starting in 1 minute. We're going to continue playing this because I get distracted every 10 seconds. But yeah, if you don't want ads, subs, ad blockers, get lucky. Sometimes ads don't work. Words. And if you deal with the ads right now, no more for an entire hour. Which will actually be till the end of stream because I'm going to end a little bit early today. Because I'm supposed to be starting early and I'm trying to shift that schedule. And if I don't end early, then the schedule will never properly shift. So that's how it is. Last ads of the stream, probably.
You to relive all your recent pain. Say you got blasted by a Crater Hoof Behemoth last game. So now, every time someone taps a forest, you're warning the table of inevitable hoofbeats and putting yourself behind by holding open mana each turn to have answers to this ghost from the past.
Only have
Recency
answers if you need
bias
them.
Makes you overvalue recent events, leading to irrational fear of things that might not even be a threat this game. Or on the flip side, it could make you believe your deck is going to pop off again this game, because you won the last one, even though it really sucked for 5 games.
Not gonna lie, I really want to make a deck based on the flash mechanic. Flash mechanic and instants only, because I want to be able to just keep all of my mana open and either play out on the, right before upkeep, right before untap, player ends turn and I play out all the cards, or if I need to do counters and stuff, seems like a fun deck.
Games in a row before that. Instead of living in the past, assess the current board state. Just because it happened before doesn't mean it's happening now. Number 3, the sunk cost fallacy.
Oh god, the sunk cost
just one more
fallacy.
dilemma. You've been setting up this crazy infinite combo for 5 turns. It's been disrupted twice.
Fairies, yeah.
But you're committed because you've already put so much effort into it. Just one more card or turn, that's what will make the difference. But everyone's watching you like a hungry eagle, ready to stop you in your tracks again. The more you invest in this failing strategy, the harder it becomes to pivot, even when it's clearly not working. Sometimes it's best to just cut your losses. Ask yourself, is this plan or play still winnable? If not, for your own sake, it could be time to try something else. Number 4, the peak end rule, or...
I often, with the deck that I'm currently playing, which I've flashed a couple of times already, I might rage and complain about any piece taken, but I have enough outs and enough recursion that I constantly am just playing the cards that could be the winning combo piece, and I just let them get burnt out, right? Because I have enough ways to get them back. I have enough ways to make other things happen, that sometimes playing the combos without having the combo even in hand makes people feel like the combo either isn't coming or burn too many resources trying to stop it, right? If I play a combo piece every turn, people are going to put themselves so behind when I don't even have anything, or do various things, and sooner or later, they have to let it through. So I just play a little bit at a time, and I have enough ways to get around it that it's fine. And sometimes it goes an entire round, I play a combo piece, they don't counter it, and then I don't do anything my next turn, and people go, oh, the combo piece is fine, and they forget that it's on the field, right? Because I didn't use it the next chance that I had to win the game. And that actually, that's a mood. So I just do little things, and then suddenly I have it a little bit. Don't get too focused on the next play.
The high dopamine trap. You had an amazing game where your deck popped off and won in the flashiest way possible. Now you're convinced it's the best deck ever, even though you
Who wants to
lost
play
the last
against
5
me?
games before that.
Guys, make quick
Peak
decks
end
and put
rule
them
tricks your
into
brain into
untap to
remembering the
IN.
most intense, or best moment, the peaks, and the final moment, the end.
Focusing
Or
on others'
remembering
plays,
little else.
also super valid.
That one big win is way more memorable than all the quiet losses. Instead of relying on vibes to judge performance, pay attention to actual results. Does your deck consistently perform well? Or are you just chasing that one high from a perfect game? And don't stop there.
You guys even have the
Evaluate
advantage
cards
that
you're
I'm not
putting in your deck in
going
this
to
way.
hide my hand.
Because I am willing to bet that the peaks are clouding your judgment, and your decks are filled with
Probably.
cards that seldom work. When they do, they're high dopamine triggers that leave you chasing
yes,
the next
the
hit, even if it never
high
comes.
risk, high reward
Speaking of
cards
peaks,
that are
if you
usually
think this is
trash.
peak Commander content, like the video, and come hang out in the base deck department Discord. Number 5, anchoring bias, or the early game tunnel vision problem. It's turn 4, and one player has flown out of the gates. Their board is threatening with a capital T. you loudly proclaim that they are the problem, and they're branded public enemy number 1.
And then everyone focuses on them,
Minutes
even
later,
as somebody
they've been
else
sent back
becomes
to
the
Stone Age twice,
problem.
and their board is empty. But you still see them like they're the biggest threat, despite the fact that they're horribly behind, with absurd things happening across the table. Anchoring makes you latch onto first
True.
impressions, even when the game state has completely shifted.
Did I say something
So
about
keep
tied
reassessing.
hands?
Because the biggest threat on turn 4 might not be the same on turn 10, and that guy flying under the radar who was land screwed suddenly has more mana than you.
I said
Your
that
friendships
you could
and
see
your
that
win
I'm
rate
not going to
will thank you
hide
for not
my
dropping
hands.
anchor. Number 6, the illusion of causal understanding, or I know exactly why that happened. One of your
Yeah.
opponents stomps the pod seemingly out of nowhere, or wins with a strong but hard to pull off combo. You immediately think to yourself, wow, their deck is wildly broken, and they must have lied about their power level. Well, not necessarily. This bias makes you confident you know the cause of an outcome when you don't have all the information.
That part's
In this
valid.
case, all the factors that led to you getting stomped. It leads to misjudging situations, underestimating opponents' strategies, or blaming power.
There
when it was
is a
probably
reason,
something
though,
else.
that they did.
Maybe this opponent flew under the radar
MTG
and was left alone in the game.
officially made it said that if you have early game 2-card infinites, this is a competitive deck effectively. This is a high power deck, and don't bring it to casuals. Because if you have an easy 2-card combo that you can activate in the first 4 turns, that's
game, and that, rather than the
a
power
problem.
of the deck, is why they
For
were so
casual
strong that
play.
game. Before jumping to conclusions, ask questions. What decisions led to that outcome? Did you miss something?
But yes, we get this point.
Problem. You're sitting on a key card that can win you the game, but you're terrified to play it because what if someone counters it or removes it right away? This fear of losing value can stop you from making impactful plays and seizing the game when it matters most. Magic is about calculated risks, and at some point in every game, you've got to be willing to take the risk so that at the end of the game,
I mean, the other option is that you have red herrings that you can play, other cards that are individually powerful and likely to be countered, but not the actual win card.
you're not left wondering, what
But if you don't have that choice, sometimes
Number
you got to
8,
force them to have the answer.
availability heuristic, or the that card is busted syndrome. This is a little like recency bias, but not exactly. Say you got absolutely demolished by a Will, Blade of
You always
Frontiers
find the
deck
card that
recently.
was
So now,
that
every
just
time
beat
someone
you.
plays Will, you're calling for an immediate answer from the table. Bring on the exile effects, the board wipes. The sky's falling. Just because a card was insanely good last time in a very specific situation, Will is just a
Yeah,
thing.
okay.
The false consensus
False
effect.
consensus?
Or everyone runs this card, right? All your blue decks are filled with counter spells, so you assume every blue deck you come up against is filled with them too. You keep playing around them, with no actual knowledge of whether this specific opponent runs any at all. Just because you do something, or because it's popular, doesn't mean
It's true.
everyone.
Sometimes, I'm not going to lie, this is the bluff, right? I know that 2 mana is the prototypical mana for a counterspell. And if I'm playing blue, if I am going to have mana open anyway, if there's things that I'm considering, if there's things that whatever, keeping 2 blue open forces a lot of people to play suboptimally because they're fishing for the counterspell, which you actually don't have, but they don't know that. And so sometimes, I was just watching this for Yu-Gi-Oh! The other day that, what was the card? There was a deck that basically was the tier 1 deck. It was the better deck, and mostly it had a specific card in it that demanded an answer. And everybody was playing it, and the answers that people had tended to be a little bit clunky. Not bad, just a little bit clunky. Like you needed them as ways to stop this card, and you need enough of them to actually stop it. But a couple of decks just don't play the best card in the format because they're doing other stuff. And then all of your answers become just bad cards, and you feel annoyed because somebody is playing a legitimately less good deck, and your deck is worse because of it.
Assuming other players some or plays the same
I
way.
don't remember what the
Number 10.
specific one was.
The overconfidence bias. Or
Okay,
the
these
I got
biases
this.
are often very common. I'm not as invested as I thought I would be. Zen embarrassed when Amelie reacts to Zentrea alphabet.
First off,
They're in the
No need to apologize, Zen.
alphabet with
That's
Zen.
how you know the grind is real.
I love this model that Zen has.
so first off,
The Gecko model's great.
So first off. 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 So first. Oh yes.
I want you to
I'm
know I was
25
screaming.
BTW.
I don't forget
Hold.
that part.
So first off. So first off.
Okay.
So first
I was
off.
fucking screaming at you guys to fuck off. I was literally screaming at you guys to fuck off for that one dude.
First off. So first off.
Oh, you guys got her mad.
Is for
Boofer. Boofer D's nuts.
Boofer what?
Zen, that is the clip I show people to explain what I want to
is
people.
for
Cooksy. If I ever
Less
get the
than
chance
3.
to see you.
For
right in
free?
the face.
For free, Zen?
Wow.
Dick. Dick. Dick, 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 dick.
Oh, it's an old. Is this an old clip?
E is for
I'm so
Eat
glad my
violence.
Boofadono from like 3 years ago will forever be immortalized by Cooksy. God
That
bless
was such a
man.
good model for that specific interaction.
F.
Hey,
is
that's
for
so
fuck.
cute.
What the fuck? What the what?
I meant to say fuck yeah.
She just came
G
right.
is for
Give me just
Fuck
one
you.
moment so I can unclench my ass cheeks.
Oh.
Because they are very tight. I don't remember saying this.
Oh, that's a good line. What the fuck is that
I don't
text?
okay that was. I think we were discussing surviving on P again.
Again? How often does her chat...
I'm like 95% sure we were probably discussing surviving on P again.
Again. How often does
Her
Zen
face.
chat do this?
Her face here.
is for
How many of you drink P?
Yet,
Wait.
you remember the
Was
part
it
about
very
drinking
tight?
pee. Zenta derp.
Just like why did it say
H
that?
is for
How many of you drink P? Serious question.
I.
Serious
I
question.
hope nobody.
It's a Christmas song.
Pause.
I don't think that's a Christmas song.
It's a white Christmas for someone.
They have had this happen to me for 2 years in a row now, and I'm gonna take my chance of not ever clicking on links again. I think I'm so fucking good, dude.
Wait,
Jack
that's
and Coke, you know, jacking it off.
K is for
Knock, knock.
Oh my god, these are some of the. I'm crying. I'm crying.
Who's that?
These are some of the best clips of Zen.
Nah, Karma and I will find you another banger for this year. Trust
L.
XDD.
I don't think that's a Christmas
Listen,
song.
If I was going to bake, then that would make me a masturbator.
Oh.
Walked yourself right into that
Hey,
one.
look, guys, spooky skeleton.
M is for
My people need me.
Incredible. The form, fantastic.
N is for
No more busting.
O is for
Is that
Oh my
Tangia?
God,
Does
what
she
is
also have
this?
Tangia?
Thank God.
Oh, thank God. Okay.
P is for pain.
P is for pain?
Q is
Valid.
for question.
Just pain. Oh, no. What's the question?
Well, first I'll fuck you.
You'll fuck
What?
me? Oh my God. Careful.
Excuse you?
We're learning
I'd
here
like
with
to say
them.
first off, dude.
R.
You'll fuck me?
What the fuck?
Raw.
S
Oh.
is for
See you guys tomorrow. I'm going to be playing with fruits and hard cock tonight.
Haruka.
So good.
is for
Balloon for 86 sub at tier 1 for
U is for
You woo, you woo, be you woo.
V.
How was the timing so good on that?
Vagina was part of the Naruto universe, by the way.
I didn't read that in Naruto. That's not the Naruto I remember.
Yeah, I remember that one. I remember that one. Hurricane never lets that one down.
Zentry Jammy,
She
Zentry
loves
Jammy,
reminding
Zentry
me
Jammy,
about that
Zentry
one so
Jammy.
fucking much.
W is for
When life gets rough, you get hard.
What was part of Naruto?
Am I wrong?
What was that, Sen?
When life gets tough, you get hard.
Am I wrong about that though?
Going back to Lurk. Yo! Catch you later, Les.
When
Thanks for
life
all the
gets, I
MTG
forgot what
discussion.
I said, actually. When life gets rough, you get hard.
So close to 2 years.
just gonna,
love yous and love your geckos.
Life gets rough. You get
Living stream open. Ah, you don't need to, but I appreciate it.
What was that, Sen?
They actually changed lurkers anyway, but
love
it's
where
still
you're going with
appreciated.
it.
We love
Yep,
lurkers.
Bananas,
Yep,
enter
yep.
bananas, enter
Meant to say
bananas,
that,
enter
meant to
bananas,
say
enter
that.
bananas, enter bananas, enter bananas, enter bananas, enter bananas, enter bananas.
Yo pepperoni nips.
What?
Fuck.
I can't tell if she means to say these things or.
Hi, this is Zenithor. I would like to order a chai latte minus chai.
God freaking damn it.
That was
Literally
good.
God
I enjoyed
freaking
that.
damn it, dude.
Leave the like, because we're not degenerate. Yeah, we're a bit degenerate, but not enough to not leave a like.
When it comes to starting my day, I like a cup of coffee. So the question is,
Right.
does coffee from a
I doubt that it matters. Am I so cheap that I'm going to look at the thing? No, I'm just going to skip it.
Dead people.
All right, I've been meaning to watch this.
Help.
Okay, volume.
What's the whole of tea?
Oh. Hold up.
Hope people any red. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hello, there we go. Hi. What's the whole of tea? Hope people any red.
Oh.
VTubers who can sing versus VTubers who cannot sing.
You're flying a suit on. I'm paying my fingernails. Boo. My fingernails.
How drunk were you,
We're
Camila?
going out in style, babe.
Giving Beto
Incredible.
a lot of credit there.
Golden buzzer. Bzz. Wow. Wow. Look at the pure emotion in that face as he sings. Oh my god. Oh, we're going out. I love the boo, and then it just cuts to. Oh, we're going out in style, babe.
Bye.
The way he's vibrating.
Oh, yeah? Man, I wish I...
What if Jay-Z sung with loud Camila scream sound effect dash
what?
HOEBIPKRWS 7U? Don't play it, 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 but play it, but
She's
play
like,
it.
I
You
know
should
this
play
is
it. You should
I
play
can
the
see the
full thing.
download.
No, don't play it. Don't. No. Don't do it. But I should. But it's calling me, and I should. Pussy damn people. No, let me go. Hi. Must have hunted be ho he bo any no. No.
That's obviously a fake. Don't do it.
Pussy damn people.
Oh wait, I'm wrong.
No, let me go. Hi. Must have hunted be ho he bo any rat nickel here. Man.
That's good. Good edit.
I didn't say it. No. I don't.
Oh yeah, I wanted to know what this was. I love that Ellie's dad is a huge fan of Vettel and Neuro. That's so cute. I love every time a streamer's parent becomes a fan, not just of their kid, because that's everyone's a fan of their kid, and we appreciate supportive parents. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of parents who are not so supportive of anything that's not regular income, but when parents just embrace the lifestyle, I enjoy it. And also specifically Ellie's dad being like a major AI person and loving Vettel and Neuro because he just thinks that they're so cool outside of the VTuber stuff. Like,
oh, so weird. What are you doing for Christmas?
I'm just gonna hang out with my family.
That'll be fun.
Yeah,
what do you guys like to do?
I don't know. We play a lot of music together. That's like the big thing that we do.
Are you guys like all like musically talented?
Yeah, we were like a band when we were little.
Wait, really? For real?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I can't wait to practice my viola later.
I think that's so cool,
Everybody
Ellie.
just like brings instruments and we just jam the whole time. But I have to finish Neurodog, so I'm gonna have to bring Neuro.
I need to double check the tuning because I hadn't tuned my viola for a while, and so it was super out of tune yesterday. And so I tuned up, and one of the pegs was slipping like crazy, so I had to really just jam it in there. You gotta use a lot of force with pegs. Sometimes. But I know that because I was dealing with all of that, I was just kind of getting a very rough tune. It was enough for a minute yesterday, but I need to retune it. And as I remember how to play, my tuning is also going to get better because right now I kind of am like, oh, that sounds like notes enough. It sounds enough like notes. It's fine. I'm playing an A456. Don't worry about it. We don't need your A440s here.
Dog to my parents' home.
You have to bring Neurodog to that family event
so that I can keep working on her, because otherwise I'm gonna miss
Also,
3
Dad's
days of
gonna
working
love it.
on her that I have off of work just to sit around the fire with my family. I don't got time for that.
I
So
could
they're all
never
gonna be sitting
handle
around the
long
fire,
nails like that.
being the IRL Partridge family, and I am gonna be working on my robot in the corner.
Cutie pie. Wait, so like how do they
That's so
feel
cute,
about
though.
that? Like, do they know about your robot and like what you're doing?
Honestly, yes. So, okay, it's hard to explain. Like,
I've
my
been in
dad
that
knows
situation.
100%. He gets the whole deal. He's with the program. He actually was a Neuro fan before the raid.
No way! No way!
See, that's the real
Really?
one.
He was in the original raid, yeah.
That's crazy! crazy. I wish my family supported my VTubing. That's amazing.
Maybe they will. You've just got to get them into neuro.
The number of VTubers who never tell their their family what they do. I've always said it. If your mom walks in and you're watching VTubers, depending on the VTuber in particular, switch to the porn tab. It's easier to explain.
But yeah, no, my dad 100% like gets it, is like there for it. My mom, honestly, I think she's just happy because like this is the most social I've ever been in my life. She's just like, but look how many little friends she has on there.
Aw, that's
I think that's
cute.
amazing that your mom can be so supportive. My mom could never. My mom could never.
Your
yeah.
mom isn't like, oh my god, my daughter is a...
Sometimes I feel like, once again, it depends a little bit on the anime, but sometimes if I'm watching anime, I'd rather switch to porn because anime is going to be harder to explain. And I answered it because it's easier to explain.
The famous VTuber, my daughter
Because
is
it's
like...
less embarrassing, depending on the VTuber, depending on the anime.
Like an amazing VTuber. My daughter was nominated for Rising Star. That's not what your mom says every day.
My mom...
And if I am with people who watch plenty of anime and stuff, when I'm unironically enjoying Sword Art Online, I'm also going to switch to the porn tab because everyone knows what Sword Art Online is, and I'm not getting out of that. Gotta keep my sterling reputation. We only nut to cultured things.
Mom doesn't
like
care.
these stars.
No, my mom, she's like, "Ay, nena, you have just big
personality
online. Why are your that big?"
You know, I've heard many parents make that ask that question when they see
my
their
dad
VTubers.
was literally like, "Could your character get a breast reduction actually? Because like it's really distracting. It's really distracting."
Ooh, I don't want my dad to say
my
that.
family tried to show my future sister-in-law like a video of me, and my parents said that they had to stop it halfway through because they were too embarrassed by my avatar.
I have an old
and her.
friend who's been getting back into touch, and I was like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, I do VTubing." And they're like, "Oh, what's the channel?" I'm like, no, I just want to support. I'm like, if you're not into VTubers already, like I appreciate you wanting to support, but also you don't know me as the VTuber. I'm not sure that I want you to know. Also, every person who knows is another risk point. Like, it's kind of like when you're playing poker, having somebody else who can see your hand means that people can use either of your tells. It is always a disadvantage for somebody else to know your hand.
Jiggling assets.
I think your model is beautiful. And then, okay, so I was working on the model, and I was calling with my dad because that's what I do when I'm like not motivated enough to do something on my own. I just co-work with my dad.
That's so
sweet. I called my dad, and he was like, "This model you're working on must have taken so much work with all those physics."
You know, not wrong.
What did you say? What did you tell him?
I said I'd never rigged thigh jiggle before.
Yeah, for for everyone who doesn't know, Ellie Minibot is my 3D art mama, and so
Really?
she's bringing 3D mama to life.
It's gonna be done so soon. I'm so close.
No,
I need
you're
to fix
good.
some of the collisions on the
I mean,
skirt.
you're
The
also
only
working
other
on
thing I need
Neurobot,
is for
so
you
you
to
know.
send me reference for the shankla because I don't know what it should look like.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we can do that. We can do that. I can find
A
my
straw flip-flop will
chancla.
be
Actually, my
fine.
cutie pies might be able to find. Where's my golden chancla? Don't we have like a golden
Golden
chancla for me? That
chancla?
would work.
Okay.
Yeah.
Golden one.
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Okay, perfect.
What? Fine. You
It's
got
true,
me.
I'm not a lewd tuber. I'm simply a woman of my word. I'm no liar, okay? Many things, I might be crazy, I might be silly, I might be violent, but a liar? No. And so, if we ever reach sub goals, those sub goals get reached, okay? They get
Valid.
reached and fulfilled, and I am a woman of my word.
Is that a good Jessie? I smell.
What the fuck is that sound
I
alert?
smell it. Go Jessie, smell. I smell it. Go Jessie.
It just keeps going, huh?
Oh my god, what am I gonna do? There's a Go Jessie here. I'm freaking out.
Speaking of sub goals, I guess.
But I thank you for the 2K biddies. In the daytime, thank you very much for the chair.
Just dying
I love
inside.
streaming.
Guys, I love streaming.
Okay, Google. How
Tell
do I
yours-
lose my hearing? Oh, nuts. Ah, I swear I'm a wholesome streamer. Ah, 2025 is my wholesome year. It's my wholesome year. Please. Yada. Yada. Oh my god. I didn't have sound alerts for 2 months. I finally put them back on. And all I get are sus things. No.
Gasp.
No. Sure. You tongued a mom of 2 on your trip to Japan. So
Also, what is that
I
model
did, and I'm proud
to
of
her
it.
side?
I'm a loyal woman, okay? You think I'm sticking my tongue around all willy-nilly?
Excuse
No.
you?
No, only genuine connections, okay? Yeah. I would do it again. What? Yeah, I kissed Annie in Japan, consensually. Very enthusiastic consent, by the way. Yeah, connection of tongues, that is. That's crazy. When's
Wow.
the wedding? Isn't she getting married to, like, Vettel? I don't know. I'm no homewrecker. I just value
Homewrecker?
connection, you know, genuine connection with those that I kiss, apparently. Didn't really know where I was going with that. Yeah. If she wants
Kinda
to get
got away
married,
from
she's
her.
gonna have to tell me. Damn. It's 2025. Polygamy is back in fashion. Oh, I mean, we'll have to talk about that. We will. We will have to just talk about that. Not too sure about the actual planning behind it, but we'll work it out, surely. It'll be okay. Somehow,
Timeshare.
everything will be alright. Everything will make sense. Everything will be fine. Surely that is the case. That's insane. You guys are f***ing crazy today.
Minnie
Oh my
hates
God.
drinking alcohol and drinks with Vettel. What a terrible decision, honestly. Already did that a bunch. Already looked at this. Did want to look at this.
Hey! How's it going?
Already.
Hello, hello. Wait, I'm not sure why I have blood on my face. 1 second. Oh god. How do I get rid of this?
What?
How
And
did you
then
guys do this?
Cinder.
Do you have a model reset button? What's that?
Oh, okay. And
Yo, I need a
the
model
hotkey
reset
settings
button.
and expressions tab, the one that looks like a movie reel.
Oh my god. I love that every collab I ever do with anybody, they just become my tech support. No, this is amazing.
I need some more
Welcome
tech
to
support.
Cinder tech
Guys,
support.
collab
5
with
stars,
me.
Honestly. I think I found it.
It's kind
Make
of,
my
it's
stream
kind
better.
Of impressive that you've been doing this for so long, and it's still
And I-
really cute for you to be like, hold on a second, I need to think.
Emily just taking
Okay, I fixed it.
damage from that.
I made a toggle for it on my board.
She's all cleaned up.
I did it. I cleaned the blood away. I'm just watching your hair change again and again, and I'm so jealous.
Oh, my bad.
No.
I need
no,
to
I love it. I'm like,
set up
I
my
gotta get me
toggles
extra
again.
hair toggles. That's
I
the
have
best next
some
on my
ready,
list.
and then I
set up
changed
to
computer and I
channel
never.
points. And so my fire color, I go from orange to blue because
Cute.
blue is like hotter fire. So it's supposed to be like when I get angry, like my fire turns blue because it's just hot. But my chat likes it, so I go back and forth from colors.
I disabled mine because I would just be bald for 50% of this collab.
I actually don't
Took me a year and a half
remember.
to actually debut.
I need to
because,
remind
from
myself how to
concept
even
art
freaking
to
do that.
debut day because it was near impossible to find somebody to do fire. Because
Oh,
like,
yeah, the
nobody had done it
animation.
before. Yeah, the fire animation. Because I was like,
Oh,
"Yo,
yeah,
this
and
is
people
fun
haven't
design.
done it.
Like, I really like it. Like, it
Yeah,
stands
I
out,
get
it's
how that
bright
is.
and fun and colorful.
Yeah.
They're all like, oh, I don't know about the fire. No, like we're gonna have to deny your application. Sorry, like not this time. And I'm just like,
But it looks so amazing. I'm so glad that you waited and found the right one. That's so true though.
I need to just,
actually, my
put $1
first
million
ever
into a
had
model.
frame by frame animation.
Oh wait,
Jesus.
so it wasn't as
Artists
smooth.
had to draw.
Oh, wait,
it was a nano.
Wait, so this isn't frame by frame. This is.
No, this is actually just live 2D rigging.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's kind of wild, like extra wild.
I don't know. Ken's a wizard. I don't even know how it works.
That's crazy.
Taking
I
notes.
was wondering. I was like, how does that work? Because I have my 2.0 is Flame Empress, and she has like a crown that's like flame. But we just like did like solid art because we couldn't figure out the flame animation. Actually, it's the same problem. I will never understand
I feel that.
the art or rig side of VTubing. Like people ask me all the time, and I'm like, that's
I keep thinking that I want
a lot
to
for Elmo to think
learn how
about.
to
Like
rig.
I don't even know how.
I have
any of
so
that
many things
works.
that I need
It's
that I'm
funny,
working
actually,
on though.
because, I also have been recently debuting.
Should
more
make a bald
pose
toggle. I forgot that you're not at
where
school.
It's like a whole scene with a background.
I would have to check actually so one thing with my model is that the artist it was their first VTuber model. It was an artist who I like, who actually doesn't do a lot of human stuff. So that was kind of a silly choice of mine that like they don't normally do. They mostly do like cute Pokemon art and stuff. So using them to do a human figure was a choice. I don't regret it. I think the model looks great, but I might have considered shopping around a bit more. Anyway, but they never had done art for a VTube model before. I definitely think there's something strong to be said for getting someone who does both, because then they draw with what they want to rig in mind, and that can matter. The rigger kind of can only do what the art allows them, and sometimes like you can ask for an extra piece of art to make certain things possible, but like if they're doing it all, then it removes that issue, right? But that said, rigging is an art, and it takes a lot of time and experience and whatever, and there's also something to be said about people who are just amazing riggers who use other people's amazing art. Where I'm going with all of this, though, is that since my artist had never done a model before, and since my rigger was cheap, I only paid $150 for the rig. I'm not sure that a bald is actually possible on this model, and I'm not checking live. I might be checking live. I'm going to see if I can give myself a 5 head. The most attractive of balds. Make myself look like Mr. Smithers. Believe this one. Nope. Yep, we can get a bald redeem. I would need to do more than just that one because, see, you can see here now that all of this section of my hair is one piece. So now you found out a little bit about Rory. Congratulations. bald toggle possible. Ah, great. At least I look cute bald. I'll consider it. I will say, I will consider it. Lucy Stacy Toes will never consider it because the hair is half of what makes that model. If she ever gets a custom model, a version 2 model, then it might be possible to go bald. But with the current model, bald is not an option for her. Unfortunate. Hi, Minx. Haven't seen you since the beginning of stream. How you doing? You enjoying that thing which you are doing?
And like the subject kind of in the middle of the whole scene. And it's funny because I debuted one recently with like a nurse theme for Valentine's Day.
I love
and
it.
Sayu actually DM'd me. He's like, "How do you make models look like that? Like,
Also,
how do you do that?" And I'm
she-
like, "It's just art. Like that's rigged, just like a normal VTuber model." But
That particular model, she was basically told it's actually against the law to have red crosses. So that's a thing. Who's going bald? Cole wants me to have a bald toggle. And I said, I'm not sure because of my art and various stuff. I'm not sure if a bald toggle is possible for me. And I checked and it is. So I don't know. I'll put it on the list of things that I want to do. It's really far down there. But it's possible. We found out.
instead of just like a straight, like standing straight kind of pose, like I said, I'm like, it's the same thing.
It's
You
so
know,
funny.
live 2D.
Me and Sayu actually talked about that on stream. We were like, how is that done? I was like, it has to just be like a full art file just like within VTube Studio. And he's like, yeah, that's what she said. And I was like, that's so amazing.
It's always fun playing around with like arm toggle.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you could have a full, use the entire
my artist
screen
is always
as your
like, "How
model.
many
That's
toggles
actually
do you want?"
interesting.
And I go, yes.
Yes. It's just so fun, like especially if you have them.
We'll use every
puffy,
minute.
like,
Oh, don't
for
worry.
me, I usually
If
like express with my ears or like the blushing and the heart.
If I have a bald toggle, it's going to be set at least 1,000 points and likely something like 5,000 points. And I'm going to make sure that part of the toggle is that it also automatically comes back. That I don't need to actively toggle it on and off. So I'm not worried. Cole can run through all of its points during the first stream that it's available, and then every so often get to show it again, and you know what? That's fine.
Eyes and I actually tied a couple toggles together so I can do that excited little tail wag.
Oh, wait, cute. Wait, do you have them on your Stream Deck or do you like use your keyboard?
The Stream Deck's so handy.
I do have all my toggles on my Stream Deck, but because there's so many, sometimes it's hard. And what I like to do, especially when I was like first starting out streaming, was watch back my VODs to see how I could improve. And one thing that I
That's so smart.
noticed was because
I mean,
my eye tracking
everyone
was so
says it,
sensitive,
but-
you could see me looking down at my Stream Deck every time I'd want to like press a toggle, and that drove me crazy.
I really want. That's one thing that I also feel.
And
There's
then the
so
problem with the
much.
keyboard is that like when you're like typing DMs, then like toggles start going.
Minx, you have been part of stream. I'm not going to say that you're my oldest viewer by any means. There's a handful of people older. But you, of people who are currently active, you are one of the first. Like, obviously, Tara's older. When Sky pops by for a second, Sky has known me for longer. There's a couple of people who have been watching the streams longer. Outside of Tara, you are by far the most consistent. I'd say you're more consistent than Tara, but also Tara the last few months of it. Oh yeah, you met me during it. Yeah. Tara's been around longer. You're more consistent than Tara. But you know, Tara's been around much longer. But that said, you're here every day. You go away, and Tara often is also here every day. Tara is wildly consistent. I think that it's safe to say that you are here. That means that you have been here longer than, at least more consistently. You have been here more than anybody except for maybe Tara. That's wild that you've actually been here. Wait, is that Cole? Do you also remember the 3D model? Now I'm like, yeah. That's why I'm like, you mentioned that you met me during my last few days or last few months of 3D, and apparently Cole knew me for almost a year before that. But I don't. To me, my 3D life was actually, it feels like it was fairly short, even though I know that I had the 3D model for a decent amount of time before I grabbed this model. And for a while, I wasn't sure that I liked this model as much. Now, I definitely, I don't hate my 3D model. There was a update to the program which kind of fucked a lot of models. It makes it look not as good in my opinion. And the 3D model looks a lot younger and there's some weirdness to it. So I don't love the 3D model. But I do like the 3D model. But that said, I feel like I've been in my V2 model for long enough that Tara doesn't have a beast of a computer, and Tara has a lot of extra, textures on her model. And I think that she might always be running all of her outfits at all times, just you only see one at a time. All of these are things that add lag. But yeah, 3D models, one of the benefits of 2D models is that they are less RAM intensive, CPU intensive. That's the thing. For sure. They also, one of the things with 3D models is that while you get certain things are more, you can do some things with 3D much better than 2D, particularly like hand tracking it's a little bit weird, but you can do hands with 2D, it's just harder, and you usually don't get as much motion. Some people do 3D hands with the 2D model and just make the 3D hand look 2D. Facial expressions are a little bit more limited with 2D. Obviously, I can't turn around. There are reasons that 3D is better. But if I want to cycle through my toggles and do stuff, I can add more flair to a 2D model more easily and more cheaply. It's easier to rig a completely random, crazy nonsense thing. And ultimately, to get the same level of detail, you have to pay so much more for a 3D model. Like, a cheap 3D model is cheaper than a 2D model. Then 2D models can go up to like $10,000. But then beyond that, you're getting like, to get 3D models of the same quality, we're talking about like basically movie theater productions, right? And so to get some 3D models, paying 30,000 plus is not unheard of.
Going up like crazy, right? So I have a mouse with buttons on the side.
I've been wanting that.
Link me immediately. Immediately.
I still need to figure out, I need to do something.
Actually,
Since I have the 2 computer setup, all of my toggles are on my streaming computer because they need to be for it to work. But my gaming computer, where I do so much stuff, is where I normally have my hand setting on my mouse because that's where I am gaming, right? I need a way to have the buttons on the mouse go to one computer, but the mouse inputs, all the other inputs, go to a different computer. And why all the outfits at the same time? So one thing with 3D models, very often, you can't just toggle things on and off. Obviously, it needs to be in memory, right? So like if just as an example, let me hope that I remember the correct one. I never remember the correct one. So if I want to toggle my vest on and off, right? For it to, let's toggle it off for a second. Okay, so vest is off for a second. For me to toggle it on, the computer needs to already know what the vest looks like, right? It needs to summon it from somewhere. And the further it needs to reach into the computer to find that file, the more lag there will be on it happening. Usually, for 3D models, if I want to switch outfits, the way it is done is to actually switch models. You have one model which has the outfit and another model which has the different outfit. But Tara wants to always have her model on screen. She doesn't want to have to do a transition connected to the outfits. And having that transition happen when she does the outfit change and various things, it would be a pain. So instead of having to find the save file for the 3D model, which includes a certain outfit, she can have them all on, but most of them be invisible. Just like if I turn off my vest, I'm actually still wearing it. You guys just can't see it. And to be fair, programmers, it's probably probably doesn't have physics right now. Like it's not doing wiggles with when I move faster. It's not doing stuff because physics require more processing, but it is there and it is tracking where my body is so that even if I lean way to the left, it comes on with my lean. Tara needs to do that, but her outfits being 3D means that having them all loaded, even if they're not doing physics when they're not loaded, it lets her switch outfits faster and more smoothly. But it doesn't mean that they basically all need to be loaded at least partially by her computer at all times. And considering that my outfits are basically PNGs compared to her outfits, which are heavily physicsed, textured, full 3D things, each of her outfits is probably adding a significant amount of lag.
Is
I wonder if she's aware of that.
have a foot pedal.
We might. I mean, you see it every time. Her PC is not going to crash because of it, probably. Her rendering program could crash, but if it hasn't already, it probably won't. What happens is that she starts getting lag spikes. Her model starts freezing. Discord uses a surprising amount of processing power when it's on. When you're in a call, for some reason, Discord's like, oh yeah, you need like a gigabyte of RAM for a non-video call. That just makes sense. Let alone when you're streaming a game to Discord. So during collabs, when her computer is doing something with our models, registering, drawing our models, even though it's not calculating where they should be, but it is still drawing them, and it's still rendering her model, and it's doing Discord and OBS and who knows what else, she gets lag spikes. Her computer slows down sometimes, and her model program is one of the first things to go. But yeah, if you want to help Tara out, she needs a beefy-ass computer for her setup. And I need a mouse that can connect to two computers and register different inputs, depending on which computer it's talking to. And I guess I could have one button switch which computer it was doing, but then that also still wouldn't work to do emotes during games. Something to think about. And the foot needs a new model. And some other stuff, potentially.
That's what it's called.
Yes, I have that, but it's only 3 buttons. Yeah, I have 2 faces. Yeah. I have... Wait, I don't think it's working, actually. I think it's unpaired.
Oh, so no.
Here, I actually just sent you the mouse that I currently use.
Thank you. Oh my god, we're learning all the tricks. This is the best day ever. This is...
They just came
I
out with
appreciate
a
all of
wireless
this.
version too, if you're like a wireless
No,
mouse girly.
I'm not. I never charge.
I don't remember to charge my mouse.
Absolutely not.
I do not use wireless mice. One, because I'm a gamer and latency is my enemy, but also I don't want to have to charge my mouse.
I'm gonna charge it so I keep it plugged in.
I have a wireless keyboard and mouse like in my recording booth, and they're plugged in all the time as if they were just because I'll be like recording a song and then suddenly like the space bar no longer works and I can't unpause because I forgot like 45 days ago to charge the keyboard. We're not girl failure chat. We just have a lot going on.
Actually, I think my keyboard has wireless ability,
Listen, when you have
and
so many
it
things
doesn't
planned
need
in your
to.
head, the last thing you're gonna want to remember to do is charge your mouse and keyboard.
So true. So that's like bottom of the barrel.
Right, bottom of the list.
It's crazy how much tech has just evolved for VTubing in general these last 3 years. Because if this was a thing 3 years ago, I would have hopped on this immediately.
Was there anything that made you want to start like,
Oh,
a
I'm
YouTube channel?
still
Or, like,
hopping
were you
on
voice
it.
acting before that?
It was kind of both together. It was me and a friend. We were 14 and 13.
I like that
We were just
fire
nerds
color.
with like way too much time on our hands. And back then, the dubbing companies weren't really dubbing the songs. They dubbed a few here and there, like the Oron High School Host Club opening and stuff, but like not everyone. And like back then, I didn't understand like the licensing issues I'm sure they go through. But I was like, why don't we just do it? How hard could it be? It was very
How
hard.
hard could it be?
Trying to rewrite the lyrics to sound right.
Yeah, incredibly difficult. But I loved the challenge, and I just wanted to hear the songs in English myself. Now I'm very thankful for those companies who never got to dub them because I got to make a career out of it.
Wow. You know what? Valid.
It's crazy how that works. You know, you have this idea and it's like, why hasn't anybody done this? And like, you know, there's a logical reason why.
Right.
It's like, this is genius.
Yeah. I know.
But
Me at 14.
if you become if there is something that's not being done, because it's incredibly difficult and there's good reason for it not to be done. But it's something that you want, and you become the person who develops the skills to be able to do it. Huge money in that.
Market that has never been tapped.
Just realize that like there are other people helping, and don't make it and don't become an industry shill because of it.
I honestly relate a lot to
Yeah.
what you said about putting up makeup and, looking pretty and having the nice lighting. Because before I was an online anonymous content creator, I was a cosplayer.
No way!
Oh right, all her
The beauty
cosplay.
standards with that industry.
Wait, I
so
did not
crazy.
know that. That's great. Yeah. I can only assume.
I was really, really involved in a cosplay. I guess it's sort of like the more hidden past life of me because I didn't carry over like the same name and persona and stuff.
Right.
So I've been keeping like that part of myself a little more private. But the crazy thing is that I would cosplay a lot of niche stuff. So people would be like, "Oh, what's the favorite cosplay you've made?" And I'm like, "If I tell you, it's gonna dox me."
Gotcha. You're like, there's 2 cosplayers in the world that have cosplayed this, and I'm one.
And Cinder has a certain build.
Stuff like Ari from League of Legends and Bouette, like the sexy anime Mario Boo. I've done stuff like that.
Wait, this makes so much sense because I've seen your Cinder cosplay and it's so good, and I've always wondered
It is really
if
good.
you got that commission. Did you make that yourself?
So I actually have 2 cosplays of myself. One is my 1.0, and then this 2.0 outfit. I really wanted to make it.
I have a cosplay of myself, but considering that my hair is
More backstory. I wasn't just
or
cosplayer,
more or less just
I
like
would
this.
compete in
So it's
craftsmanship competitions.
I just need
and
a
I was
vest
placed in the
and
highest division
trench
competing
coat.
against,
Like
professional cosplayers.
What?
And yeah, I've won like a lot of
Doesn't
awards
take
doing
much
this,
to
and I,
do a
won,
Rory
won a lot of
cosplay.
money, like just making stuff and competing in competitions doing this. I met a friend through competing. We were both sitting in the same section, and I remember so vividly because her and her husband like to cosplay together, and they were both sitting in front of me, and I remember just like admiring the back of their cosplays because I was like, this is so nice. And we ended up talking because my mom would come with me because I started doing
No,
this
that's
when I was
cute.
young, and my mom would always be cheering me on, and my mom is always a talkative person, so of course she's the one that always initiates conversation. And I'm
Of
like,
course.
"Shy kid." I'm like, "Mom,
Wait,
stop."
I think we have the same mom.
Mom, stop.
We ended up meeting them. We both ended up winning awards that competition, and
Aw,
I
how
was just
cute.
like, wow, like you guys are awesome. And we started talking, and we got to know each other more, and just saw each other, every convention.
Good
in the area that
story.
we went to, and I decided like, okay, I don't have enough time anymore, like as a VTuber, to dedicate to making my own outfit for myself. So
Oh,
now
and
I
so
get
she
in
used
touch
them
with
as-
this friend. I feel like she'd be very understanding because when I became a VTuber, I kind of just like fell off the face of the earth, like on the
As it
platforms that I was
goes.
cosplaying. So it's just like I kind of just disappeared. Like I got rid of everything, like just to keep everything safe.
Right. So fair.
And so I was like, hey,
Hey.
this is gonna be kind of out of the blue, but here's my situation. I feel like I really trust you guys, like her and her husband.
That's
they're
so
really, really
cool.
sweet people. And she. I
Good to
was
have those
talking to her
connections.
about this conversation a little bit later, and she's like, "Yeah, I started crying when you messaged me that because I was just like so touched, and I would be so happy to make this for you." And
Oh,
it was just
sweet
awesome, and then I
story.
sent you my
Good story,
measurements and
Cinder.
stuff, and it was just so much fun. I kind of missed that side of my life because it was such a big part. I've been cosplaying for 11 years.
Damn.
Wow. Oh my god, you as well, a nerd with too much time on your hands. I love this though. That's so cool. It's like a natural progression of like the creativity that you had though, and now you can like tie the 2 worlds. That's so cute.
Yeah.
Good video. I'm glad that I watched that one. But I think that I will call that. I think we're going to call that the last. Do I have? Oh, good. It is on playlist. Good, good, good. Guys, I think we're going to call this it for the stream. Been a great time. Love having every one of you here. Been, big chillin', having the good time, doing the good stuff. That's finally... There we go. All the good things. Guys, I will be back on Saturday with Tara for Amnesia later. And otherwise, Monday, Minecraft Monday. Keep your ear to the ground for all the other stuff. You know how it is. But you guys are amazing. We love you. Let's see who we can raid, huh? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Try not to take so long to find. Here, have the jamming music while I find somebody. Anthea, Terra Tyrant, Chiruru. Actually, I have a couple of great choices. Has already been said, the patches of violet. Let's do Anthea. Guys, thank you once again so much for being here. You have a great time. Night night. What must be done?
Event that we're about to do, essentially. Welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you so much for coming our way. How was your stream today, dude? What were you doing? We were, like I said, we were just talking about the Project Zomboid challenge that we're gonna do today. I'm very excited about it. I was just yeah, like I said, we were just chatting. Thank you, Cole. I appreciate that. Yeah, you guys will change my colors and stuff today. I can set it up and like all of that. Big challenge, reaction to videos, lots of Magic the Gathering tangents. Okay, so yes, Lori's had a great time. Such your television. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for the resub, Chris.